iffy.
I don't sympathize with that argument as much. First of all, if you get married, by definition, your costs go down because you have two people then paying for rent, right, or for a mortgage. So you can actually consolidate income. But studies actually show men earn more as soon as they get married and have children. Something primal kicks into us where we take a second job, we work extra hours, we figure it out. Men are actually men are super simple, women are very complicated. Men, as long as we feel appreciated, we feel noticed, and we feel special, and we see our role and our purpose, we will go to the ends of the earth to feed our family. We'll figure it out. And I think we're underselling American men. We say, oh, I wait until I'm 27 or 28. That's fine, but look at the cost of that. And the cost is, right now, just as we're clear, we are on pace 10 years out from now, we're gonna have 20 million 40-something women that never got married or have kids, but they have big apartments and they go on lots of vacations. And I also think that's one of the reasons we're seeing the suicide rate, the anxiety problems, the depression problems in our country. Do you have a thought? Or?
Yeah, I just feel like how many people that are like, or how many males that are 20 are like ready to get married and like ready to have a family?
So the question is, which one leads which? But in the 1950s or 1960s, the time we're supposed to hate, young ladies looked at it was my task to find a husband before the age of 25. And it was like the most important thing for them. But if young ladies, first and foremost, no offense to my two Australian friends, got off of OnlyFans and stopped posting naked pictures of themselves online and made themselves harder to get, men would step up to the plate. One of the reasons why men are grown infants is because women are so easy to get right now in America. There's no desire, there's no hunt, there's no search. So you can be a grown infant and you can get sex. When it used to be in 1950s, women would be like, I'm not giving myself over to you. You're a man-child. Like, you don't even pay rent. You have nothing going for you. When now, unfortunately, you can pay $10 a month to go see a woman naked. Do you think that you are more desirable or less desirable to a future husband when you post suggestive or naked pictures online? I just want to make sure everybody watching and you guys all think deeply about that and how men view not just OnlyFans culture, but you all said marriage, and some of you said marriage and kids is the most important thing, but far too often our actions and what we do every day is actually not getting us closer to our stated goal.
Well, you can say that to the subscribers too, who subscribe to their
I think
contribute to their pockets, but that's what I mean.
They should be shamed.
How can we find husbands in our 20s, in our early 20s? I'm not in my early 20s, but how could we find husbands if they're busy subscribing to OnlyFans chicks?
Yeah, well, not every man is. And that's a really good question. So where did all the good men go? I talk about this in my book, actually. The first piece of advice I have for young ladies is do not post suggestive material of yourself online. Men want what they cannot see and cannot have. Mystery is lacking in the West. Mm-hmm. And I know this is lost on a lot of young ladies. They say, the more I post of myself on, with a bikini on the beach, the more men will like you. No, the more they'll want to have sex with you, but then they'll look at you as just a visual or a commodity, not as a future soulmate. Mm-hmm. And the second part is, to be perfectly honest with you, religious men check a lot of the boxes that you guys are looking for. I know that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's I feel like that's one reason why I was able to find men like that. It's because even though they weren't conservative, they still had very, very deep religious values.
Can you tell me more? That's so interesting.
Mainly Catholic. I'm also Catholic.
Yeah. So, and they believed in God, right? They wanted to have a family.
Yeah, they didn't necessarily read the Bible word for word every day, but they followed the Bible.
So would you say that's, if you're looking to find a man in the West and it's your number one priority, and you were given a random selection of a Catholic man or kind of a femboy atheist, you would take the Catholic?
Yeah, I would.
Would you?
The Catholic, yes. I think femboy atheist is so funny.
So how many of you are then going to church actively trying to find a man?
I don't need to.
I know, but
I didn't meet any of my boyfriends in church,
fair enough.
And I feel like I wouldn't have, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like you can meet a really religious man outside of church.
Fair enough, yeah.
You just have to find where you guys both coincide, and like at the library, studying for your exams, for example.
I actually recommend to my single friends to find men in the church because
I agree.
Usually stand-up guys, typically.
Yeah, and there's exceptions to every rule. And so my advice to my two Australian friends is that if you want the thing that is the most important thing to you, start making those decisions younger than older, because you might end up be filled with a lot of money and a lot of regret.